Call in, guys. Talk to me nice.
Welcome back to Sports Teague. Welcome back to Sports Teague.
Talk to me nice. Nice. Call in, guys. Talk to me nice. Call in, guys. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Sports Tea. How's it going today? Oh my gosh, happy Saturday to everyone. Oh, so happy to be here. Shout out to Ace of Rage, I see you. Oh man, there's been a lot going on. So obviously there was an overhyped Summer League matchup between Bronny James and Cooper Flagg. That's how it was billed, right? So we had to suffer through the media coverage of Bronny versus Cooper Flagg, a number one draft pick who balled out all year long in college, literally made it to the final game versus a second round 55th pick in Bronny James, who averaged 4 points in college, did nothing his first year in the NBA, literally shit the bed in Summer League last year, and throughout most of his time in the NBA was literally wearing a costume. Can you believe that Cooper Flagg had to share the marquee with Bronny James? It's an absolute disgrace. The NBA is a joke for even marketing it this way. And can you believe that courtside tickets were $2,500 to see Bronny James and Cooper Flagg? Cooper Flagg, who, by the way, went 5 for 21. And again, I'm not here to call Cooper Flagg a bust. This is less about him and more about the disgrace and the joke that the NBA has become by marketing this. We didn't hear anything about Swider, who went off for 22 points. We didn't hear anything about the guys who actually balled. All we heard about was Cooper Flagg and Bronny James. Bronny James, who's a video gamer, who doesn't belong on any floor, on a G League floor, Summer League floor, NBA floor. We decided to market a game and charge $2,500 for courtside seats. We stole from the American public and the NBA fans. That's what we did. We hurt the integrity of the game when we do things like this. And I just think Adam Silver, Clutch Sports, they're an absolute disgrace to the NBA and the integrity of the sport. Again, rookies coming out in summer, like Cooper Flagg was obviously nervous. He's being compared to Bronny James. He knows all these narratives are going to be put out there about him, so he's probably coming out shaky. This is his first ever moment in the NBA, seeing his dream come true. And I heard him talk post-game, and, he is actually quite pleasant and delightful. I have nothing really bad to say about Cooper Flagg other than specifically his performance wasn't good. He didn't come out and debut in a way that made me say, oh man, he's definitely going to do this and that. But I saw athleticism in Cooper Flagg. I liked his breakaway dunk in the beginning of the game. I like how he jumps and blocks shots. I appreciate Cooper Flagg, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in his first season as a rookie. Whether he stays with the Mavericks or he's used as a trade piece, I'm excited for Cooper Flagg. I like his basketball player's body. I like his attitude and mindset. I don't really have too much to say. He went 5 for 21. He was 0% from 3. Watching Bronny try to guard him was hilarious. But, there was so much chatter and so much, I would say, so many opinions about this game and whether or not it was worth the money, whether or not we should have been hyping this game up. And really, there were just a lot of reactions to Bronny being on the marquee. Like, why? Why would he be there? To me, it says a lot about our culture. It says a lot about what we value when we sit up here and we're spending $2,500 to see Bronny, even if it's just that we want to see him fail or whether we want to see him succeed. He's not good. He's a video gamer. He's an influencer in the NBA. This should not be what we're promoting. We should be promoting talent and actual performance. But instead, we're just rolling with what quote unquote is going to sell tickets. It's just, it makes me question, are there actual, like the people who bought these tickets, were they real basketball fans? I don't know. But what I can tell you is The Odd Couple has had some interesting discussion surrounding it. I want you guys to hear what Rob Parker said leading up to the game. I thought it was really interesting dialogue. Let's hear it and we'll react together.
8 p.m. Eastern, going head to head on the marquee against the 55th pick of last season, Bronny James and Los Angeles Lakers Summer League squad. Guys, according to Vivid Seats, as of 11 a.m. this morning, local time in Vegas, the average ticket price was up to $223 per ticket. The cheapest being about $85. A courtside seat running you a crisp $3,000. That's not the story here. The story is, of course, while this is Cooper Flagg's big debut, the number one pick, he actually has to share top billing with Bronny James. In fact, when ESPN put out a social media graphic promoting tonight's game, tipping off in about an hour, here's all it read. All caps, Cooper Flagg, Bronny James, cinema. Rob, you got a problem with that?
Yeah, I have a big problem with it. And there's two things.
What's
that? Because the graphic I saw, Bronny James was on the left, am I right? And Cooper Flagg was on the right, left to right. Don't you go left to right? Okay. So here's my issue with this. Bronny James does not, N-O-T, belong on the marquee. Once again, the minions are trying to manipulate you, fool you into thinking what you're going to see is something special and something that you can't miss, must-see TV. And also, I'm worried about Cooper Flagg because his debut should be enough. He's the chosen one. He's the new guy. Oh, my God. He's white chocolate times 2, double dip. He's going to be Larry Bird, Larry Ostrich, Larry, I don't know, Larry Raven. He's going to be all of that plus 10 bags of chips. And the only way we could sell the next great white player in this country is to attach him to a second-round pick, 55th pick, who couldn't play well at USC, who, did mop-up duties for the Lakers for the most part and played in the G League and didn't do anything to make you feel like, oh, my God, he's going to be something special. You have to pair Bronny James to get people to watch Cooper Flagg? That's where we are? I mean, really? Bronny James should not be on the same marquee as Cooper Flagg. They're not the same. The only thing that they have going for them is that Bronny James' dad is somebody super famous. So they're trying to attach the two. They don't go together at all. They didn't play together. They aren't rivals. What do they have in common? They have absolutely nothing in common other than they're playing in some meaningless summer league basketball game in Las Vegas, and people who have nothing to do or are afraid of the tables are going to go there to waste 2 hours. That's what's going to happen.
Bah, humbug. First of all, Rob, you got to remember, dude, this is the Summer League, and this is where so many people have already planned to go see what they believe could be the next young star, whether it's Cooper Flagg, whether it is obviously Bronny. And remember, Vegas is LA light when it comes to the Lakers. We talk about it all the time. When we have Lamar Mitchell on BetMGM, when we have anybody else who knows anything about Vegas, they always say, oh, my gosh, the Lakers do huge in Vegas. Oh, my gosh, Lakers, this is their home away from home. Oh, the Lakers have preseason games in Vegas. This is home for them. So many LA people make the trip and they go to Vegas and they're Laker fans and they want to see Bronny because they've been following his journey since Sierra Canyon, USC, and now, of course, with the Lakers. So
his journey at USC, playing like a bum. Why do you want to see that? To all the NBA fans, to the Bronny fanatics, to the LeBron jockstrap sniffers, why do you want to see someone go into an arena and stink it up? For what? I'm waiting. Cooper Flagg was 5 for 21, guys. 5 for 21. Bronny James, he comes out, okay, he hits 2 back-to-back shots. The smart thing to do would have been to sit him down, let his stat line look good. But no, he played a lot of minutes and scored 8 points, turns the ball over. I mean, he's not good. Am I missing something? I mean, look at them. Look at Bronny trying to guard Cooper Flagg. And I mean, this is what he was touted for. Lockdown defense on Cooper Flagg. This is what they celebrated Bronny for the other day. Okay, when this matchup occurred, they were celebrating Bronny because he was playing defense. Because he's a smaller guy playing defense on a 6'9" Cooper Flagg. But what stood out to me was at the end of the game, somehow, and I don't know why, when Swider clearly had the hot hand, other people were scoring the ball, but for some reason, we decided that the ball would be in Bronny James's hand at the end of the game. At the end of the game, we put the ball in Bronny James's hand for a game winner. A guy that shot 1 for 5. Bronny's ass should have been on the bench, not in position to take a game-winning shot. I'm hyper confused by this. I mean, as soon as he took the game-winning shot, this is immediately what I thought of. Carlton Banks. Does anybody else remember that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode? Carlton joins the team. Will was cooking. And he couldn't handle it. He was jealous of Will. He joins the team like the scrub that he is. And he couldn't handle all the praise that Will was getting. And he didn't pass the ball to Will. And he took an embarrassing game-winning shot. Look at his face. That's Bronny. Like, how dare you take that game-winning shot, Bronny? How dare you? Where does he get off taking that kind of a shot? It's just like, where? How? Can someone make me understand it? He shoots a brick at the end of the game just like his dad. He shoots bricks just like his dad does. Man. Look at these guys. Like father, like son. Like father, like son. Like father, like scrub. Like father, like scrub, guys. This is what we're dealing with here. Now, fast forward to, some of the reactions that people had to the game. I mean, you can only imagine Rob Parker. He's shocked and appalled that we're even putting Cooper Flagg and Bronny James in the same sentence. That they're even being billed together, right? He's surprised, so am I. Everybody is. And so their reaction post-game was this. Here's the odd couple.
You and Rob G were all hyped about Cooper Flagg's debut and that Bronny was playing, and they played it all up. But I'm going to tell you this.
What you going to tell me? Because first of all, Mr. Reporter, can you be factual? Why was I hyped? I wasn't hyped.
You was hyped.
I was telling you that the people
But I'm
are
going to
hyped.
tell you this. I'm waving the white flag on Cooper Flagg after that debacle last night.
Big racist.
Talk about the worst debut for this guy who was hyped up. 5 for 21? And you were trying to Bronny. Oh, we want to see what Bronny in second year. 1 for 6 for 3. He only had 8 points. You want to talk about a terrible debut. Am I saying he can't play and he's going to be a bust? No. But you couldn't have a worse debut. And he had that nice dunk early on in the game. I watched the game this morning on NBA TV. It was awful. People paid top dollar to watch that. Was he nervous? What was the... And you know what? The worst part about it is, Rob G, Kelvin, he ain't even playing against guys who are going to be in the league. These are guys who just got the jersey as a souvenir, and they got a large Diet Coke and a hot dog for participating. They're not going to be in the league. 75% of those guys, 80% of those guys. And he couldn't get his shot off. He couldn't. They made him uncomfortable. And then they're going to harp on the play at the end of the game. That's what tells you about Cooper Flagg. You know, the defensive play, and then he gave the assist for the game-winning basket. 5 for 21? I needed something better than that. I didn't need 40 points. I needed a better debut than that from this guy that they wanted to put in the same sentence as Larry Bird. He wasn't even Christian Laettner last night, let alone Larry Bird. I dare anybody who's an NBA fan who calls up this radio show and tells me they saw something. Oh, my God, Cooper Flagg's going to be something with the You didn't see it last night? I know he's 18. He played major college basketball. Everybody's been singing his praises. Oh, 5 for 21. If you take away the dunk, that means he made 4 baskets. Really? It's never been easier to score in the NBA. Ever. Kelvin could score a couple of buckets.
Good, I can get you 6 and 3.
You could do that.
Get you 6 and 3.
You could do what LeBron did. 1 for 6 from the 3-point line. Anyway.
You already know, Alex.
I'm waving the white flag on that debut and all the ballyhoo made about it. It was as disappointing and milquetoast and non-dramatic as I've seen anything. It just didn't move me.
Stop being so dramatic. What you thought was going to be Game 7 of the NBA Finals? Stop it. An 18-year-old going up against, what's Bronny now, 19 and a half? Both of them, one never played any kind of NBA game. The other one, everybody ever said shouldn't even be in the NBA. And you thought you were looking at 1986 Celtics-Lakers? Stop it. I'm not dealing with you right now. Now, let me tell you what it is. I put no stock if you'd had 22 points or 2 points in especially your first Summer League game.
You're full of it. You're like the NBA. You know why? Because had he put up a 40-piece, don't tell me people wouldn't have been ranting and raving.
I didn't say people. I can't speak for people.
If he had 40 points last night, what would have been? Sports Center?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Right against Bum.
Right. And guess what?
Right, Rob G, am I right or wrong?
Guess what? This is called the Odd Couple. Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington, not ESPN. Now, let me get back to what I was saying. I put no stock. You know why?
Sometimes I got to go to somebody who's independent, who's not on the payroll. I know you used to work there, but go ahead.
First of all, if I'm on the payroll, y'all, I need some more checks because I got some bills that need to be paying. Now, no stock in this because we've seen guys come out and tear it up. And to your point, oh my gosh, this person's about to be the best ever. And let me reel you off a couple of things. You know who looked amazing? Kyle Kuzma looked like he was going to be a perennial all-star if he went off the Summer League his first go-round. Markelle Fultz, that's why he's the number 1 pick. He looked amazing. Ben Simmons.
That's what Cooper Flagg looked like to me.
Ben Simmons is the new LeBron if you went off the Summer League. We ain't seen 2 of the 3 since. You know who looked horrible? Steph Curry looked lost out there. Well, I think he did all right. Derrick Rose looked lost out there. I think he did all right. So I don't put too much stock either way in this. So Cooper Flagg was out there. He was 5 for 21, missed some shots. Now, here's what I do give him credit for. I give him an E for effort. And that's what I say that is because the same thing I said yesterday.
Oh, shut up, Kelvin Washington. Oh, my gosh. He's just talks so much. I don't know. Every time I hear him, it's like nails on a chalkboard. But again, Cooper Flagg, we're not going to sit here and trash him for this game when he dropped 31 today, and that's what it's about. It's about dominating in Summer League and finding your groove. And this is the moment for him to, really find his way, right? And so, Bronny never found his way. He had to manufacture it. He had to go back and forth from the G League to the, to the big boy league. And, they had to clear out the G League. They literally cut Quincy Oliveri, the only guy on the team that was cooking, so that Bronny could shine and they could create the offense around him. But yeah, Bronny is now touting himself as a defensive, a defensive menace. That's what he's going to have to do in order to have a place and to get some real minutes in this league, is to be hyper defensive. And I cannot wait to see the circus that is going to be the father-son duo this year, if they continue to stay on the Lakers or if they're on another team together, or if LeBron leaves his son on the Lakers and trades himself somewhere else. That will be hilarious. Lightweight hilarious. But the Bronny Cooper Flagg hype really escaped me. And I don't know, guys. I struggle with the morality behind it. We literally, the NBA is marketing Bronny James. This is who they're promoting, and they're wondering why viewership is down. It's complete crap. Absolute disgrace. But I want to know what you guys think. Has Adam Silver and Clutch Sports made a joke of the NBA? Is that what they've done? I think so. I think they've made an absolute joke of the NBA. And I don't know how anybody can respect this league. It's just not a respectable league anymore. But I do want to go ahead and read some super chats that came through. Salute to Mr. Burtis. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Long live independent media. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Yes, I mean, myself, Man Down Sports, Ticket TV, Too Raw for TV, like we really enjoy telling the truth. Uncommon Sense, Eddie TV, 93 Zay, Angry Old Hoops. Like we are all just out here trying to tell the truth about what we see. We don't work for Clutch Sports. I don't know if you can tell. Salute to It's Not That Serious. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. LeBron Jr. is pathetic as a basketball player, and Kelvin W. is utterly asinine as a commentator. I don't know where they found him. I don't know what he's done that, made him a great choice for Rob Parker. My guess is just that he's a LeBron fan. Like him and Chris Broussard, like Broussard was on the Clutch payroll, but he was paid to say that LeBron was number 2. And I think Rob Parker was okay with conceding to that and saying that. But Kelvin Washington, he's just delusional. So I'm with you. It's not that serious. Totally with you. We talked a lot about Summer League, Bronny, manufacturing, the lack of integrity that the NBA has at this point, right? With the promotion of a game like that was just utterly embarrassing and just hot garbage. Honestly, that's what it was. That game was hot garbage. And I am really happy for Cooper Flagg that he went out and balled today. And the Spurs are a good team. So, losing to that team, they've been playing very, very competitive summer league basketball. So, the Mavs losing to that team, I think that's a good loss, and hopefully it'll make Cooper Flagg better, but dropping 31 and just proving that he can score and dominate in the summer league, I think that was very necessary for him and his confidence heading into, regular NBA season. So it looks like we got another super chat. I want to go ahead and read that. Turtles and thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Adam Egghead Silver fumbled the NBA almost equivalent to blowing a 100-point lead. I'm right there with you. Adam, I call him Adam Conehead Silver. I think he's a disgrace. I think that David Stern is rolling over in his grave, and Adam Silver should be ashamed that he allowed for Clutch Sports to use him and to, really kind of just control the NBA and ruin the NBA the way that they have. It is just an utter disgrace. It's just really what it is. But, we have talked a lot about the Summer League and that overhyped Mavericks-Laker game. Now, I want to go on to some of the meats and potatoes of today's show, and that's the mind the game topic where, LeBron's at it again. And what he's been able to do with this podcast is spread narratives and basically lie to millions of NBA fans and spread false narratives and literally lie about NBA legends. He's lied about so many things on this podcast, and he's just really, it's like he's done so much hating, and it's at a point where basically this season, the second season, is at a point where when the hate doesn't work, they just start telling lies. So what happened in this episode of Mind the Game, this is part 2 of Kevin Durant's sit down. It's titled What Happened in Brooklyn, but really it's just more of a hate fest of the older generation, and LeBron James has corralled, this era of NBA players to support him in this. Basically, that's what I'm seeing. And so, there's been so many content creators that have covered this, this Kevin Durant shade to Michael Jordan. He's caught on Mind the Game shading Michael Jordan for absolutely no reason. So we can tell that it's pretty much manufactured. This was planned. This was scripted. They got together ahead of time and said, hey, you're going to say this. We're going to react this way. It's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be funny. And so, I, of course, don't think this is funny at all. I think it's disgraceful. I think that Kevin Durant, Steve Nash, LeBron James, they should be ashamed of themselves. I blame LeBron James because for me, it's an overarching theme with him. And it's part of a devious plot to crown himself the GOAT. Nobody's willing to do that, but he's trying to force us. He's trying to force himself on us as the GOAT. We're not accepting it. So every which way he's coming out with a different tactic to convince us. And he hasn't been able to convince the general public, majority of basketball fans, even basketball fans that have watched him their whole lives. He has not been able to convince the majority of people, the majority of NBA fans, that he is the GOAT. It just has not happened. He doesn't have enough people that believes him to be the GOAT. That's just the truth of it. Even the current NBA players, the ones that are willing to call him the GOAT, they still turn around, do an about face, and call Michael Jordan the GOAT. So it's really interesting. But, in this first clip, what we're going to listen to is Kevin Durant. He starts talking about, what it takes for him to be great. And, he was talking about his routine and how he never sacrifices his workout. And there's a level of commitment that you need to be successful in the sport. And so he gets into that, and then out of nowhere just winds up shading Michael Jordan for playing baseball and basically calling him a quitter. That's what he's basically doing. You hear LeBron, egging him on and essentially, laughing. You see Steve Nash laugh. I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting. And there were so many reactions to this. And I really wanted to make sure that you guys have the full rundown on this, because this is just, I tell you, if LeBron James makes you guys angry, just brace yourselves for this, because I'm going to play this first clip. It's of Kevin Durant. We're going to first talk about Kevin Durant, and then we're going to talk about LeBron James. But I've got 3 total sound bites for you just on this, from this Mind the Game episode. And I got to tell you, they're extremely cringeworthy. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steve Nash, all 3 of them embarrass themselves together. And it's disgraceful. So here is the first clip, and we'll have a listen and then we'll react together.
Something. Do you think another driving factor in our careers right now is others who had the talent and others who had the same opportunity didn't make the most of it in their later careers? Yeah, people that we grew up watching, people that that you felt like, damn, I wonder if they worked hard. I wonder if they really put the time into it.
1,000%.
To now, like you look back, sometimes I go back and look at certain players back in the day, I'm like, damn, he played 11 years.
Yeah, no,
or he only played 8 years. Like when you're young, you don't really know, but it's like,
no, you're right. I mean, you definitely look at, because if you're not looking at the guys that come before you as examples, then
good or bad, correct?
Yeah, good or bad, then you're not going, it's hard for you to, be ready for what's ahead. Like I've seen guys that, you drove me every day. Go and watch your games, watch your box scores. I'm like, all right, if he on that level, why can't I try to be at that same level too? So that drive, but then you look at guys who didn't necessarily pan out, and their situation, and you want to avoid that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all of that stuff plays a factor, but it's not just 1 or 2 or 3 things that make you a good basketball player. Things you have to do to be a great basketball player. There's so much you got to retain and understand in order for you to get the full potential out of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the research is a big part, in my opinion, of becoming a great basketball player. Who you listening to talk the game. What you watching? How you watching it? How you watching film? You know what I'm saying? Are you researching old players and see what they did to understand the foundation they laid down for you?
Are you being real with yourself?
Are you being real with yourself when you watch film? Are you holding yourself accountable after games? Right after the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff you got to ask yourself. You got to recommit to this game. Just like you sign a new contract, every time you get better as a player, I truly feel that you got to recommit and sign that contract with yourself every so often. Like, all right, I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships. Like, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
You know how it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Well, some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's a contract I feel like you got to have with yourself, too, in order for you to be a great ball player or to have a long career. That's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. I tell you, that's the goal. However you want to get there, but you got to recommit to yourself before you commit to anything else.
What a disgrace. I want you guys to hear the next clip. We're going to go right into this next soundbite, just because it's a continuation of this. And I want them to complete this thought.
That's interesting. But like, Oh, that's a factor. Like seeing what other people did, seeing maybe they didn't fulfill their potential, they didn't keep going as long as they could have. But it all starts again with that love, that passion
Yeah,
for
for
what
sure.
you do every day.
For sure.
You know,
Because that ain't gonna last. That ain't enough.
Right?
That ain't enough
Right.
to keep you going, seeing what other people did, didn't do.
It's about you.
Yeah. It's about,
You can't just chase other people. You
Yeah,
got to run your own
exactly.
race.
Run
You
your
got
own
to be
race,
deeply inside it and engineer that thing. Drive your own bus. You know what I mean? I was going to say, how does that at this stage? You're like, what does success? I asked you first episode. What does success look like for you? Like the rest of your career? How do you approach it?
For me, it's just
You're coming into 19? 19, yeah. 19.
It's just about, for me, it's just about being in it every day. Like, and when I mean in it, it's just like every detail. I got to be like, if my coaches need to ask me about anything, no matter, I got to be ready. If I got to jump in the drill first, you know what I'm saying, to demonstrate the drill. If I got to be, play a whole scrimmage and practice, even on 35, 36, I don't want to. I got to set that example of like, no matter how old I am, that I'm still trying to be great every day.
Yeah, there's a standard.
You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm in it for, is just continue to live up to that every day, whether it's shoot around, practice, or a game. And I think I love living up to that standard.
Similar. He was process over, the process, trying to be great every day and like leaving an example for other players.
And if you do that, then win, lose, or draw, shit. I mean, we get frustrated with losses. We've been to the mountaintop before. We want to get back there.
Yeah.
But you sleep better than the contrary if you wasn't doing the other shit.
Sure.
And you lose.
Yeah, for sure.
You're like, oh, I just cheated a season away.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just cheated a week away. I just cheated a day away.
Right.
For what? Because at the end of the day, this game that we're playing, the basketball game, the life game, whatever the case may be, the game in general, it's not a dress rehearsal. It is right now. We live. We live, baby.
Yeah.
Unless we got to get to it. We got to make the most of it when you're that person.
Right.
When you have the it factor, it's not a dress rehearsal for you. You don't get. You're not allowed to have a dress rehearsal.
Every day.
The others do.
Got to be on every day. And that's the beauty of being given that much responsibility, is that you got to be on every day. It's easy when you get 2 days a week where you got to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? But you challenge yourself. You reach different heights as a human being. I think this game, of course, you want to be great at playing basketball, but there's so many life lessons within the game that enlighten you just on everything. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not open-minded to that part of it too, not just being a highly touted, great player, everybody love you, and you got the most points and you got the accolades, but do you actually truly care about coming in every day and being the best that you can be as an individual? And it may not be just shooting the ball, put it in the basket. It may be your influence, what you say to your teammates, how you're encouraging your coaching staff, how coachable you are as an individual. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff I try to stay conscious of, because I know the heavy influence that I have as being a veteran in the league, accomplished so much into the league, just walking into any gym. It can people attest, just
for sure.
You got to make sure they're comfortable too. So I try to come into the gym and make sure I'm locked in on being a team player, true and true.
You guys are approaching it the right way because there's someone who's
Guys, there's just so many moments that we can pick apart here. You hear, and so when I watch this, you see LeBron James chomping at the bit to interrupt Kevin Durant while he's speaking, because obviously he knows nothing about a few things that KD mentioned. Working just as hard as you always have at 35 or 36, being the example on your team, not asking your teammates to do things you're unwilling to do, those kinds of things. I think he even talked about, what it means to be a star. And when you're the it guy, you just really, you can't, you don't get a dress rehearsal. And he does this thing where he knows that he's kind of like putting upon, and he does this thing with his eyes where he's like looking around like, does anybody see me lying here? And it's just, honestly, I found it funny because Kevin Durant, he out of nowhere brings up Michael Jordan, right? And I thought it was absolutely ridiculous, and he should be embarrassed and absolutely ashamed of himself. Kevin Durant is a complete disgrace for doing this. But here's why it's not surprising to me. Kevin Durant is a follower, okay? He followed behind Russell Westbrook when they were in OKC. He was a pretty boy. He had he was so neat, clean, and organized. He always cut his hair. Even his beard was always neat and clean. He would dress nice. And, then he shoots over to Golden State, and he kind of, you can see that part of why he left that team is because he had no identity there. He was on the out. He was on the outs. That wasn't his team. He didn't really fit in there, I think friendship wise and personality wise. He just kind of went from OKC to Golden State, had no identity there, then goes to Brooklyn, right? And He's the best player, and he's following behind Kyrie Irving. And let me just backtrack to the Warriors, where he lets Draymond Green call him a bitch. So I guess really he followed behind Draymond Green, because Draymond Green was the guy that went over there and got him, picked him up and told him, come on over to our team. And what did he do? He followed. Oh, okay, I'll go and do it. No problem. Then has enough in Golden State, has enough of the narratives that are being created about him there. And even though he was 2-time Finals MVP, 2-time champion there, he goes to Brooklyn, and who does he follow behind there? Kyrie Irving, a flat earth idiot turned, amazing human, but like he chose to follow Kyrie Irving. And yeah, to see what he looked like there, he was unkempt. He looked like he didn't take showers or baths. I mean, he then goes to Phoenix. He packs up and leaves for Phoenix, and he finally gets a haircut again, becomes a pretty boy again, probably because Booker told him to. Like, hey, you're not coming over here with that alopecia and those crusty ass ankles. I mean, this guy follows the other star on his team like, like they were his big bro or, a parent or something. And some people are just like that. Maybe they didn't have a father, or there's some dynamic in their life that causes them to always be looking for someone to be their leader. And I think that that's Kevin Durant. I really do. It's just so clear to me. KD, he's always lived vicariously through someone else. That's just what he's always done. So he's sitting there on Mind the Game, spewing this done with the 90s narrative, all to fit in with LeBron James and to follow his program. He's following LeBron James's program for the moment. Kevin Durant, Steve Nash, LeBron James are an absolute disgrace. And it gets worse than what I'm about to share. I mean, both of the sound bites that you've already heard, they're so disrespectful to the previous eras of basketball. I mean, LeBron James has the nerve to ask Kevin Durant about guys that they watched growing up and how they didn't make the most of their careers. What about the guys that you're currently playing with right now? Talk about yourself. Point the finger inward. 24 years in the league, 4 titles. What the hell is that? How is that productivity? And Kevin Durant should be ashamed of himself. The goal is to play for 20 years. NBA fans don't want to hear this. We get that it's all about the money, but you don't have to rub it in our face that it's all about the money, that all you care about is having a 20-year career to just steal money from the NBA. Because you're not stealing money from the NBA, you're stealing money from the fans that come out and support this league. These players, they don't care. And that's all fine and well, but that's why your legacy looks like that. That's why NBA fans say the things that they say about you. We know it's not about winning. We know it's just about you lining your pockets for 20 years. I'd rather see someone play for a decade if they gave me their best than see someone play for 20 years and, I don't know, 10 of those seasons, they don't even get out of the first round on the back end of their career. LeBron James, 7 years with the Lakers. Out of the first round twice. That's it. 2 of those seasons not even making the playoffs. And then we want to go ahead and compare him to Kobe Bryant, like Kobe didn't spend his entire career with the Lakers. That doesn't sound like the same. Kobe Bryant wasn't having a nasty divorce at the end of his career with the Lakers the way that LeBron James is right now. But we won't get into that until later. But it's just disgraceful. For Kevin Durant and LeBron James to sit there and talk about Michael Jordan and his commitment, Kevin Durant said that he went to play basketball and didn't want to come back, but he did come back. Where were you? I thought that these people were students of the game. That's what I thought. You want to be done with the 90s so bad. You have so many, like the Mind the Game podcast has NBA legends rolling over in their grave, the ones that are no longer here with us. And It's just so funny how LeBron, Kevin Durant, and I guess Steve Nash, they want to be so done with the 90s, right? Yet Kevin Durant wanted to be down so bad, like Brandy in the 90s. I want to be down. That's what he wanted to do. Sitting there with LeBron James, wanting to be down. He's a disgrace. He's a follower. No backbone. But this all makes sense about Kevin Durant. What Kevin Durant is doing, it tracks. It makes a lot of sense to me personally. I think that Kevin Durant suffers from something called groupthink, herd mentality, or even mob mentality. And I want to talk about that with you guys as well. But I also want to share what Kwame Brown's reaction to this was, because I was watching Dreamers Pro, who picked it up from Ticket TV. Salute to Dreamers Pro and Ticket TV. They really kind of move this along, and they've shouted out Kwame for this. And I mean, he's telling the truth. So I want to play this for you guys, and we'll react together.
LeBron, you can kick out of that, ain't your boy? Look at LeBron. He got his goddamn teeth out. Steve Nash, at least he know he'll line something. He went and did. I'm no body language expert, but when somebody goes, that's nervous energy, and shame on you, Steve Nash, because you too damn old to be this much of a follower. You too old for this. Shame on you. I hope Charles Oakley catch each and every last one of you by yourself. Give y'all a good talking to, because this don't make no sense. Kevin Durant, that statement was ignorant. LeBron, why you chuckling so hard when you're supposedly a student of the game? Michael Jeffrey Jordan won 3 championships in a row. He three-peated, jackasses. And his father got killed, murdered in summer, I think July, August, or something like that. And then MJ retired in October and dedicated himself to baseball, which is a sport that his father wanted him to play. So that's why he played baseball. He tried to commit himself and dedicate himself because he was in a mourning phase, smart-ass idiots, because he lost his father this year. After he played baseball, was gone from the game for about a year or two. He came back and three-peated. So when you talk about dedication and greatness, at least know what the I'm talking about while y'all chuckling and laughing and grabbing your ear, trying to trick this younger generation because y'all pieces of shit. And that's all it boils down to, because you're not telling me Kevin Durant didn't know that Michael Jordan's father was murdered. You ain't telling me LeBron James didn't know that Michael Jordan's father was murdered. Steve Nash know it. This dumbass ear grab let me know that he know it. But obviously he want to get back in LeBron's good graces and be a coach. This is what I mean by go along, get along. You will go along with some bullshit because it benefits you in the end. And all these people are going along with this, and this younger generation don't know that these guys are full of So they'll say, look at what LeBron said, look at what Kevin Durant said. 100,000 views on this that Kevin Durant said. And then you'll have all these media pundits and these guys that are LeBron James jockstrap sniffers. They'll get up there and they'll repeat this garbage. They'll debate this garbage. Yeah, he was so committed to the sport that he didn't go get traded to the team that was whooping his ass. He didn't travel to another team and join the people that was kicking his ass. You know what MJ did? He went and picked up 110-pound dumbbells with Broner and started getting stronger until he can take the hits, until he can run through while he was dunking. And then he won 3 in a row. And some guys got older as well. But he didn't cry. He took his lumps and he had his run. But to say this right here, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. Y'all want so bad to erase the older generation that you're making yourself look stupid. Why don't you pay homage? Show respect to the older generation. Show respect to the guys that came before you so that we can see a 7-foot guy on the wing and Kevin Durant playing guard. You got to show respect to the taller men that have those type of skills in order for you to even do that. A 7-foot guard. For LeBron James to play a point forward and not them stick his ass in the post. You guys should be paying homage to these older players, but instead you make a podcast and then you put the backdrop up like you connected to the people, all to disrespect the 90s game, all to disrespect people in the past. This is a shame. I wish they had let the rules go back to defending like the past, because some of you flopping, some of you would be making, some of y'all scoring would go absolutely down because you're not as skilled as you think. The way these people call whistles for the back of the jerseys. But this right here was the worst part of this whole interview. And the fact that he's laughing and giggling and snickering, this is why MJ fans will never LeBron, you too disrespectful. This is a disrespectful ass.
You heard him. Kwame Brown, he nailed it. Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, LeBron James is disrespectful. And Kevin Durant wanted to be down so bad that he went along with it. Go along, get along. And that's exactly what groupthink, herd mentality, mob mentality is. And I want you guys to see this really quickly. This is exactly what Kevin Durant suffers from. Okay? And it's awful. It is awful, guys. So I'm going to put some things on screen for you guys and we're going to talk through it. And let's just talk about what groupthink is. Okay? Let's just talk about it real quick. Let's see. Where is it? Whoops. Hey guys, I'm just trying to pull this up on screen so that you guys can see this with me. Absolutely crazy, guys. Seriously. Like, oh my God. I don't know what's wrong with this person. No, this is not it. 1 second. Nope, that's not it. Okay, so now we're good to go. And I want to talk to you guys really quickly about what groupthink is considered. Okay, so groupthink is a psychological phenomenon where a group's desire for harmony and conformity overrides its motivation to realistically appraise alternatives and make sound decisions. This can lead to poor decision making as members suppress dissenting opinions or fail to explore options. So understanding herd mentality, it's the influence of others, right? So herd mentality occurs when individuals are influenced by the perceived behavior of a group, leading them to conform to the majority opinion or action, even if it contradicts their own judgment. And there's a psychology behind it. So the research suggests that fear of social exclusion, the desire to belong, and the tendency to rely on social cues can drive herd behavior. So it's like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and all the guys that get criticized by the media and the public, they're coming together to push back and create their own lies and narratives. So there's consequences of herd mentality. And while herd mentality can lead to positive outcomes like collective action for a cause, it can also result in negative consequences such as risky financial decisions, like what the Lakers are doing with LeBron and Bronny James, social unrest, like the whole divide. Basketball is now more polarizing than it's ever been. And the spread of misinformation. I mean, you have LeBron James literally lying about the past eras, and we'll get to more of his lies. But I mean, I think that herd mentality that's what it looks like. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, that's what it looks like on the surface of it. But when we go ahead and actually look a little bit deeper, we'll see that honestly, it's probably more of herd mentality that Kevin Durant is actually sort of, leaning into. And herd mentality is a little bit different from groupthink, but I'm going to share with you guys what that is as well. And so herd mentality, I just want to make sure that you guys can see it on the screen. Yep, you can. Okay. So Herd mentality, also known as crowd or mob mentality, it describes the tendency for individuals in a group to think and behave in similar ways, often influenced by the actions and opinions of others, even if those actions deviate from their own personal preferences or morals. This can lead to both positive and negative outcomes depending on the situation. And so I think this is exactly what happened to Kevin Durant. He believes that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. He believes he's the greatest to ever do it. He's never said a bad word about Michael Jordan in the past. All of a sudden, he gets around LeBron James, who's also been heavily criticized about their legacy. And all of a sudden, he's just leaning into bashing guys that came before him, legends that made it possible for him to earn his huge dollars, endorsement deals, etc. And so just to kind of like understand a little bit more about what herd mentality is, like it's about influencing others, right? So herd mentality, it occurs when individuals are influenced by the perceived behaviors of a group, leading them to conform to the majority opinion or action, even if it contradicts their own judgment. So, I mean, for Kevin Durant, he's always believed that Michael Jordan's the GOAT. But as soon as he gets around LeBron James, it's like he's got to conform to this opinion. He wants to fit in with LeBron James. So I'm just going to go along to get along. This is exactly what Kwame Brown was saying. And the psychology behind it is research suggests that fear of social exclusion, the desire to belong, and the tendency to rely on social cues can drive herd behavior. And we see it manifest in a variety of situations, from financial markets to social events and even during crises. And there's some consequences of herd mentality as well. And it could lead to positive outcomes like collective action for a cause. And it could also result in negative consequences such as social unrest and the spread of misinformation. So it is very similar to groupthink. The ideas are the same, except, really it's more about you deviating from your own beliefs just to conform to the rest of the herd. And the herd is the LeBron and clutch sports and the clutch cult. So that's what he's got to conform to. Now, what I really believe is that Kevin Durant, so like what LeBron James is trying to do, what he's trying to do to people is he's trying to invoke mob mentality. That's what LeBron James really wants to do. Mob mentality is where he's going with this. He doesn't care if someone attacked the Capitol, if it means that he's called the GOAT. So if LeBron James fans decide to storm the Capitol, he's totally fine with that as long as he's called the GOAT. Isn't that insane? And so we'll talk really quickly about mob mentality. And it's not so much different, but it's like each one escalates. So groupthink is just simply everybody kind of conforming to what the masses believe or the people that are around them in their immediate circle believe, which, that's very common, right? If you're in the same class with a bunch of people, oftentimes you might have some of the same thoughts and opinions. And that's just how it is, right? But then you have herd mentality, which it goes a step further because you're deviating from your own judgment. Your own morals and values are now compromised to conform with the group. Then mob mentality, okay? So this is also known as herd mentality and crowd mentality. It describes the tendency for people in groups to behave in ways that differ from individual morals or comfort zones. This can range from harmless situations like following trends to more serious instances of harmful behavior or even violence. So here's a breakdown of mob mentality. It's de-individuation. People in a crowd can feel a loss of self-awareness and individual identity, leading to reduced inhibitions. Anonymity. The perception of anonymity within a large group can decrease a sense of personal responsibility and accountability. Heightened emotions. Group settings can amplify emotions, leading to a feeling of safety and acceptance when engaging in actions that might be otherwise unacceptable. So examples of mob mentality, social media, online platforms, they obviously amplify mob mentality. So LeBron James goes to social media, ergo, mind the game. Protests and riots, crowd behavior can escalate into violence and destructive actions when individuals feel a sense of collective power and anonymity. Everyday situations, even in seemingly harmless situations like following fashion trends or choosing restaurants based on popularity, herd mentality can be at play. Herd behavior can contribute to market bubbles and crashes as investors follow the actions of others rather than making independent decisions. So LeBron James has his hands in all of this kinds of things. He has affected so many different paychecks, so many different financial moves within the NBA and the league. And just to understand a little bit more about mob mentality and what causes it, it's the de-individuation, the diffusion of responsibility. LeBron James doesn't care about the negative impacts that mob mentality causes, that what he's trying to do. He doesn't understand how awful it makes him look and the players of today's generation look. And the only way really for everybody to break free from this mob mentality that LeBron James has this chokehold over them is by becoming aware. They've got to recognize what's happening to them. They have to think for themselves, have their own damn mind, practice some critical thinking, cultivate some individual decision making, and maybe we won't be in this place anymore. I don't know, but we've got to break free of LeBron James and his mob mentality. We really do. But yeah, I want to talk about how LeBron James lied about Wilt Chamberlain, okay? He is, I want to say, and I just want to preface it with this, is that, and let me just get back to what Kwame Brown said. I mean, when you think about go along, get along, I absolutely love that. And I've always wished that Kevin Durant would be his own man in situations, especially where it mattered. Mouthing off to the media, tweeting, picking on the little guy that has no money, or trolling on the internet because he's dissatisfied with the way that he's perceived, creating burner accounts under the guise of he likes to engage, right? That's what he said, he likes to engage. And I guess he's not just very pressed about what people say about him. I mean, this is just not very flattering for Kevin Durant at all. And that's where all of this sort of stems from, his need to belong, his need to be down. And it's just flat out disgusting. And so, I also want to sit up here and let you guys know that Kevin Durant has already responded to the backlash. He's already started to backpedal. And he's doing exactly what we said he was doing with LeBron. Just now that he's not sitting with LeBron, now he's conforming back to Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Going along to get along. He says something shady about Michael Jordan to get on LeBron's good side, have LeBron's approval, even if it was just in that moment. Going along to get along. He wanted to be down. But I mean, this is his real opinion about, and we can go to it. I'll show you the article on fadeaway.net. But essentially Kevin Durant pretty much calls Michael Jordan the GOAT. He does. He talks about how he's got all these Michael Jordan sneakers. And, you can't help but wonder why the hell he was willing to sell out on Mind the Game. And I'm curious what you guys think about that. Do you think that Kevin Durant sold out? And if so, why? Why was he willing to just sell out like that on Mind the Game? Why? I want to know why. And I want to show you guys this article as well on fadeaway.net, fadeawayworld.net. It's a good one. see. Sorry, guys. Looks like there's a cute little pop-up here. But yeah, Kevin Durant says Michael Jordan is the GOAT. He reveals he's got $1 million worth of Michael Jordan shoes. Kevin Durant's recent comments about Michael Jordan have garnered a lot of attention from fans on social media, forcing the forward to reiterate who he thought his GOAT was while also displaying the extent of his fandom. Kevin Durant has recently been forced to defend himself on social media in light of his recent comments about Michael Jordan. While doing so, the Houston Rockets forward has had to reiterate how he believed Jordan was the GOAT, while also sharing how he owns $1 million worth of Jordan shoes. Durant tweeted out saying, "MJ retired 3 times. It's okay to call that out, my brother. I got $1 million worth of MJ shoes in my house. Ha ha ha. It's okay. He retired 3 times and still the GOAT. I'ma applaud that just like I'ma applaud playing 22 years at an elite level. I like basketball though. You love individuals more." Interesting. The forward's tweet was in response to another fan's comment, which was addressing the cheeky shot Durant had taken against Jordan while on Mind the Game podcast with LeBron James. Durant's comments from the podcast express his thoughts on how greatness could be measured in a player's ability to commit to the sport. In doing so, he took a shot at Jordan by bringing up his decision to retire while simultaneously praising LeBron James's longevity. It's just playing both sides, guys. That's what that is. Go along, get along. I mean, it drew major backlash from NBA player Ron Harper, who was particularly livid with Durant's comment. Considering that Harper was Jordan's teammate, it was evident why he was so aggrieved. He responded to Durant's tweet by saying, "I'm going to start a real show of bullshit. If he stopped 3 times, he won more than you all." Durant also responded to a comment on a thread where the image above was used to display the difference in accomplishments between the 3 players. Yeah, and I mean, when you take a look at this graphic, Michael Jordan retired 3 times, played 7 less seasons, and still has more accomplished and done in his career than both LeBron James and Kevin Durant put together. Make that make sense. The GOATs. I'm not trying to compete with these brothers, but did Jordan retire or not? That's all I said, LOL. So he had to defend this statement he made about Jordan's decision to retire by saying there was nothing wrong with that and adding, "Some people need to reset so they can lock back in. I appreciate Mike prioritizing his well-being before anything else." It is evident that the 36-year-old superstar has faced a lot of heat on social media since making his appearance on the podcast, creating a convoluted thread of conversations. But this hasn't shaken his confidence one bit. Even in light of the social media attention he's been receiving, Durant remains confident in his place in history, going as far as to rate himself above both Jordan and James. He joked about this by tweeting, "All of them below me in personal rankings. I would have said that a few years ago. We grow and evolve as humans. It's just a kid's game, right? So why so serious?" As things stand, Durant's legacy has been cemented as one of the greatest players of all time. With 2 NBA titles and 2 Finals MVPs to go with them, the forward has displayed the ability to perform at the highest level. The last stretch of years hasn't been as kind to the forward, with injury management concerns and other shortcomings derailing any attempts at winning the title. But the 36-year-old now finds himself in an ideal situation with the Houston Rockets. As the veteran leader of one of the hottest teams in the Western Conference, Durant and the Rockets are primed to become title contenders next season. With the likelihood of this being the Stars' last real chance at winning it all, it will be intriguing to see what he and the team have in store. I'm not impressed with anything that Kevin Durant says in the public, whether he's tweeting, I find him to be absolutely insufferable. Honestly, Kevin Durant, the last 2 years or so, he has just been such a disgrace with the way that he's carrying himself. It's just not very flattering. Again, I can't say it enough. And it's very, very disappointing. What I will say is that Charles Barkley came out. He was asked about Kevin Durant in light of all of this. And here's what Charles Barkley had to say.
Kevin Durant and his legacy, is he being tarnished? Where are you at with him? You mentioned your top 7 guys. Where are you at with what's happened recently with Durant, with the Suns, and of course with Brooklyn?
Yeah, Kevin's a great player. I think that his legacy is complicated.
I don't like any guys who join super teams. I'm biased against LeBron when it comes to comparing him to Michael, joining Dwayne and those guys. Because, when we had this debate, and LeBron's amazing and spectacular, but I was like, Michael didn't join anybody. He just kept getting his ass kicked and got bigger and got stronger and finally knocked the wall down. And, Kevin, who's a great player, other than the fact when he joined the Warriors, he hasn't been successful anywhere else. And I don't hold that against him, but he wants to be considered in that list. He's not on that list. He's not on that list. He's a great, great player, but he's not on that list. He wants to be like, wow, he's not in a GOAT conversation because you're not, plain and simple. You had great success when you joined the Warriors, but not only did you not have success, you actually flamed out in those other places. You got swept last year in the playoffs. You didn't even make the play-in this year. So those are just facts. I don't hold guys not winning the championship against them because it's a team game, first and foremost.
Yeah.
But you got to have some success. Like in my teams in Philadelphia, when I finally got out of there, I was like, yo, man, I got to get out of here. I want to be competitive. And in my first 3 years in Phoenix, we lost to the Bulls for the championship, and then we lost to the Rockets, who won back-to-back championships. But you can't not be zero successful. So listen, man, I had a great, great career. I was so lucky and blessed to play in the NBA for a lot of years. And like I said, I don't hold guys not winning the championship because it's a team game, and it's complicated when you're trying to win. I mean, everything has to go great. Like Chris Paul, to me, is one of the most underrated players in NBA history. Russell Westbrook, I love that guy. But Karl Malone, obviously Patrick Ewing, these guys are some of the all-time greats, but they just were never on a team good enough to win it.
I don't value Westbrook as much as Charles Barkley is saying that he does. Chris Paul, I call him CP0. These are guys that never won, and there's a reason. So Chris Paul, to me, has just had so many postseason meltdowns and flameouts that's why he doesn't hold a title. He's had multiple opportunities to win. Westbrook, maybe not as many opportunities to win as Chris Paul, but I don't think that he had the skill set to be a champion, quite frankly. But Charles Barkley, he torches Kevin Durant. Like, you're just not in the GOAT conversation. You're mad that you're not in the GOAT conversation, and neither is LeBron, but he's manufactured it that way and you didn't. Case closed. You want to backpedal and say, it's fine to call out Michael Jordan retiring 3 times. No, you called it out like it was a bad thing. Do you appreciate him taking care of his mental well-being or not? Because you appreciated it when your own goddamn teammate was doing it. When Kyrie Irving just didn't feel like playing, you didn't have shit to say about that. But you want to sit up here and criticize Michael Jordan for taking time off when his father died, when he wanted to honor his father and go play baseball. You are a disgrace, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. You should be ashamed of yourself, but you probably didn't even think of that. You're so thoughtless. But now you're getting all this criticism. You want to come and backpedal. Oh, he's the GOAT, but I can call this out. Just shut up, Kevin Durant. Focus on yourself. How come you didn't talk about Ben Simmons stealing money from the NBA? How come he couldn't suit up? Mental health. My back. Bullshit. Ben Simmons likes the Met Gala. He spent more time walking around dressed up at the Met than he does on the NBA floor. You see him on the sidelines, he likes clothing and jewelry. He doesn't like playing basketball. Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about Podcast P? Pathetic Paul George. Oh, they don't want to do that, do they? They don't want to do that. So, guys, I do wish, and I really do wish, that we could just move on from Mind the Game. But unfortunately, we have to address LeBron James' disrespect to Wilt Chamberlain and to Kobe Bryant. Maybe 2 months or so ago, I exposed LeBron for telling J.R. Smith that Wilt Chamberlain never scored 100 points. And not only did we break down Wilt Chamberlain's incredible accomplishments, okay, we debunked the idea that he never scored 100 points. We completely debunked that. And we showed the evidence. We even debunked the narrative that LeBron uses to say that Wilt Chamberlain was just bigger, stronger, faster. When contrary to his lies, Wilt Chamberlain was extremely graceful and a better mid-range shooter and high-level defender through the end of his career, unlike LeBron. So, guys, before I play this sound, I just I just want to preface this with how deplorable LeBron James is, how weak Kevin Durant and Steve Nash are. Go along to get along. And they are a complete disgrace to the NBA and what it stands for. The fraternity and the brotherhood of this league is shattered. LeBron James is a pure piece of garbage. Absolutely disgusting. And a toxic cancer to the NBA and the fans growing up in this generation. This clip shows the lengths he is willing to go to serve his fake, self-serving GOAT case, and Kevin Durant is just a go-along, get-along. And Steve Nash is just a weak person trying to get a job. Pathetic. Here's the clip, guys. Try not to let this raise your blood pressure if this guy makes you angry, okay? Try not to. But here, let's hear what this absolute shit stain on the NBA had to say. Let me find this for you guys. One moment.
This is special. Like, it's hard to replicate this once it's done. Yeah, you have family or you have new interests, endeavors, but to be the best in the world or thereabouts at something and to fight for it every day and have that passion to want to get up and do it and think about it going to bed.
Not like it.
There's nothing like it. And when it's gone, it's like you guys will both do great things when you're done playing. You're both already incredible at business, at life. Once you're done playing, you're done playing.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
never comes back.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
getting every drop out of it, one, I think is the right approach. Two, it makes it okay when it's over.
Yeah.
It
Yep,
makes it okay.
for sure. I can't wait to hold up the sign with my grandkids that I scored 101 points in the game before.
It's coming.
Yeah, for sure. Matter of fact, we should take it right now so I can just I can hold it up and then now
they not gonna believe you?
Right.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. Now
just 100.
Right, I'll pass Kobe.
LeBron James is an absolute disgrace. Guys, I can't. LeBron James is sneak dissing Wilt Chamberlain again. Guys, once KD gave LeBron that nugget, he went even further. LeBron James had to jump out the window with it. He totally threw the baby out of the window. When he says that Wilt Chamberlain basically is a liar and he never scored 100 points and he doubles down on it. He said this before to J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith had a little, media tour where he was telling the story. Okay? And he doubles down on it by saying that he would hold up a sign that says 101 and say that he passed Kobe. Because again, he just wants to say that Wilt scoring 100 points never even happened. They use Kobe and Wilt and try to discredit them both because they are simply not here to defend themselves. Because they are dead, they come out and say these things, but never said it when they were alive. These guys today are soft. Straight like that, they are soft. They can't even stand on business when somebody's alive. And they were scared of Kobe when he played. I'm so confused by it because they were scared of Kobe Bryant. LeBron James, you'll never pass Kobe Bryant either. You never pass Wilt Chamberlain. The problem is that LeBron James's argument for the GOAT case is so fake and it's so flawed that he can't even win the debate based off of his accomplishments and the rings that he has. So he tries to use stats. And, there's just a guy out there with better stats than him, and that's Wilt Chamberlain, the Big Dipper. Wilt the Stilt. That's the problem with the stat argument. So they can get into context, which is just another word for, excuses. That's all context is. It's just another way to have excuses and to hate on the OGs in the sport. Context is hate usually on the prior generation. So then when the hate doesn't work, like I said, they just start telling lies. Like Wilt didn't score 100 points in real life, in real time, and break a record that would never be broken. LeBron James is mad. He's a hater. But the lies won't work either. The lies only work on the blind witnesses, the honey glazers, the LeBron James fanboys, the jock strap sniffers. It won't work on me. And guys, there's evidence of Wilt Chamberlain's 100 points that he scored. There's evidence of this. Okay? So go right on ahead and tell me it doesn't exist. Go right on ahead. Tell me it doesn't exist. Kevin Durant, Mr. Alopecia, crusty leg Durant, and lace front wig LaBalco, they want to sit up there and disrespect Wilt Chamberlain and Kobe Bryant. But here's the evidence, guys. Here's the evidence. Can't make this up.
They're eating up time. Darren is fouled by Luckenbill. 1 minute and 1 second to play. Chamberlain at 98. He can make it easily. The Warriors are going to take time out, I believe. Darren's on the line. The Warriors now are within 6 points of the all-time league record for most points in a regulation game, which is 173. Boy, records are busted out all over. Discussion now in the lane between referee Willie Smith, Richie Darren, and Joe Rucker. Darren, who's really jabbering, I don't know what he's arguing about. Wilt at 29 in this quarter. That's a new league record for a quarter for one man. The individual record for a quarter, 29, just broken by Chamberlain. That's his own record. It was 28. Darren on the foul line misses. 1 minute and 1 second to play. He has 98 points in professional basketball. I'll tell you, that's a lot of points if you're playing grammar school kids, isn't it? Darren misses another. He's on the line again. Here it is. It's up. It's good. 167 to 146. Now let's see if they found somebody quick. Rogers throws long to Chamberlain. He's got it. He's trying to get up. He shoots. No good. The rebound, Luckenbill. Back to Chamberlain. He shoots up. No good. Out. The rebound, Luckenbill. Back to Ruckwick. Into Chamberlain. They stop the game. He's running out on the court. 100 points. The Wilt Chamberlain. He stops the game. People are drowning, pounding him, banging him. The Warrior players are all over him. Fans are coming out of the stands. 46-second breath. The most amazing scoring performance of all time. 100 points for the Big Dipper.
Amazing. Wilt Chamberlain really did score 100 points, and of course you're not going to fucking see it. Why? Because they didn't have the games televised. They had radio. But LeBron James is such an asshole that, he can't help himself but to make up these lies. Student of the game, my ass. You are disrespectful, protected, loser. 24 seasons, 4 titles, 1 scoring title. What did you dominate? Wilt Chamberlain is the dominant one. 31 points in the 4th quarter. LeBron James hasn't passed Wilt Chamberlain either. Just so you guys know, and someone said it in the comments, and I've talked about this before. Wilt Chamberlain used to come out criticizing Michael Jordan and the players who played during the 90s. He said that we would crush Michael Jordan if he played back with us. If he played during our time, we would crush Michael Jordan. It wasn't a guards league, and it wasn't. So yes, the NBA does evolve, but it's far less competitive than it ever has been, and it's more easy to score than it ever has been. Talk about that, LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Keep Wilt Chamberlain's name out of your mouths. He is not here to defend himself. To defend himself. He is not here. How do you want people to talk about you when you pass away? You have no respect for the game. LeBron James believes that he is above not just his team and his teammates. He believes he's above the game, the league, and everybody. LeBron James is a disgrace. And I don't give a damn about Bronny James tonight, young disciple. It's his 2nd year in the league. He should be able to dominate in the summer league by now. But we all know he's Prince to Pumpkin. That's what we all know. Bronny James is Prince to Pumpkin. I don't want to hear shit else about him. Right now, we're talking about Wilt Chamberlain. We're talking about LeBron James, lace front LeBron, lace front LeBalco, and alopecia Durant have the nerve to come out mentioning anything about Wilt Chamberlain. The way that players today speak on those who have passed on is disgusting. And I get it. LeBron James didn't have a father. Neither did Kevin Durant. I get it. You're out here talking about Michael Jordan because he didn't want to be your father figure. Could you imagine how Wilt Chamberlain would have ethered a punk-ass LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Steve Nash for telling these lies? Imagine. We wouldn't have to imagine because LeBron James wouldn't be bold enough to do it if he was alive. Just like when the Kobe slander. If you notice, LeBron James never really had anything bad to say about Kobe when he was here. When they played together in the league, Kobe Bryant was the best player in the league. He said that on 2 different occasions. LeBron didn't even think it was believable to call himself the best player in the league until the phony narrative started coming out. Do you notice that LeBron never really has much to say to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? But if Wilt Chamberlain was still alive, trust and believe he wouldn't address him. Trust and believe. He would just have to take that L on the inflated stats narrative. He would just have to take the L. LeBron James is not a student of the game. He's a damn liar. He has no respect for the game or the history of it. He doesn't even know the history of it. The entire James family has less than 1 year of college under their belt. I mean, don't forget that. He's a billionaire, but that doesn't make him any better than you or I. Character and integrity is something that money and billionaire status just can't buy. Fans respecting you and seeing you as the greatest of all time is something that you can't buy that. LeBron James is a disgrace, and he's only looking to take down Michael Jordan because Jordan refused to be the father that he never had. He refused to be part of the circus and to be cool with team hopping and stars flopping. It's just that simple. But you know what, guys? Today's generation, you see where they get this shit from. You see where all the podcasting, YouTube creators that are former NBA players, they come out and they spread a bunch of lies. And Clutch Sports they are so deep into it, they can't get out. They have a media company. They have a department dedicated just to spreading lies and media narratives. And it's losing money. They lost millions of dollars just paying off the media and spreading lies. That's what Clutch Sports has done. And that brings me to the next topic, which is Jeff Teague. Okay, he's come under fire. He's come under fire recently with his Kobe Bryant comments, and he's just all over the place. 1 minute Mike is the GOAT, 1 minute LeBron is the GOAT, 1 minute Kobe Bryant is the best two-way player he's ever seen. Then the next minute, Kobe Bryant wasn't that great at defense. So yeah, he's talks about Kobe Bryant and his 12 all defensive teams and basically begins to shit all over that and say that Kobe really wasn't the defender that everybody thinks he is. So he's here to drop some jewels and expose something. And by the way, and what's so funny is in the Man Down group chat that we're all in, it comes up that Jeff Teague works for Clutch Sports, that he has a contract with them. So that's really interesting and not surprising. And I want to play for you guys what he had to say about Kobe. I mean, it was, I think, shameful and deplorable, but here's the sound from that and we'll react together.
I'm gonna tell y'all something about all defensive teams. If you made it once or twice, 3 times, they just start putting you on there. 12 times all defensive team. I played Kobe, bro. He wasn't guarding like that.
Kobe was taking his matchup serious some nights.
So you think Kobe Bryant, who's shooting 40 shots, is going out here and playing?
When it was crunch time.
He's competitive for sure. He was competitive, but that don't mean he was locking up. That's why they had Metal World Peace.
9-time first team. I guarded somebody.
I'm not saying he can't guard, but to make 12 all defensive teams,
They just said fucking pick Kobe.
it's a persona. Like the first couple times he made it, like he lock up. After that, bro, he wasn't guarding like that, bro.
Are you serious, Jeff Teague? Like, how many times are you going to switch up the story? That's my problem with Jeff Teague, is that he switches up and he's just unwilling to stand on business. He sounds like it, and there's moments where he tells the truth. And that's the thing about content creators that are paid, that are paid for. So when someone, when someone's got you, in their pocket, so you're paid essentially to say some true things and then to say some lies. And that's really how it works. I think that, now that we talked a lot about LeBron and KD disrespecting Jordan's legacy, Wilt's legacy, and Kobe's legacy, the clutch brainwashing and the smear campaigns of these legends in the game just to serve LeBron James's fake GOAT case, it goes so deep. And it's such an intricate plan to deceive the American public and NBA fans that LeBron James employs. He literally is employing these podcasters on Clutch Sports and gives them contracts literally just to sit around and discredit NBA legends like Kobe Bryant. And it's so funny how people say that content creators and sports media personalities have created careers talking about LeBron, but yet LeBron spent millions of dollars trying to force NBA fans to call him the GOAT. He's spending millions backing podcasts that will support his GOAT claims, or at least fan the flames and discredit other players. Jeff Teague has a contract with Clutch Sports. He's been getting torched all over the internet for his recent Kobe Bryant comments, and people are absolutely disgusted with him. And rightfully so. I don't blame them at all. I have enjoyed his 520 podcast. But again, this is another instance of groupthink, herd mentality, or mob mentality, all orchestrated by Clutch Sports as a tactic to eliminate the nostalgia of legacy of the past greats. Okay? And it sounds like pure lunacy and flat out just telling lies. It's a hard listen to. We know Jeff Teague has this contract with Clutch, and we know he's a paid member of the La Media. How can we trust anything that comes out of his mouth? I mean, how much of LeBron's lies are going to come out of his fat lips? He wanted to be on every one of Kobe's classics. It's that ether, the shit that makes your soul burn slow. Guys, I was tuned into Ticket's show one day, and he said something that I thought more people needed to hear. Okay? It's a harsh message, but it needed to be said, and it needed to be said that way. So I want you guys to listen what Ticket TV had to say about the Kobe hate that's been out there lately, and we'll react together.
I'm gonna tell y'all something about all these.
Here's the bottom line, man. The bottom line is this, you guys. A lot of these NBA players y'all seeing that's talking crazy about Kobe Bean Bryant, man, they wasn't talking like that when he was alive, bruh. When Kobe Bryant was alive, none of these dudes were talking like that. Even when he was retired and he was alive, none of these guys were talking like that. These dudes wouldn't dare say nothing. So the fact that he is deceased and now people's going crazy with the disrespect, it just shows you, you understand what I'm saying, the hatred and the envy they had towards him anyways. You know what I mean? A lot of these dudes, like I said, they ain't got no heart. They didn't have a heart enough to say that shit to Kobe. They would have never said that to Kobe when Kobe was alive. They'd have never came out their mouth disrespecting ever. You know what I'm saying? It's safe now because he's not here. He's not alive. So it's safe for them to do that. They can get away with that talking now to these young cats. But like I said, all y'all need to understand is when the man was here, these dudes wasn't talking like that. Point blank period. None of them talking like that when Kobe Bryant was alive. Wouldn't none of them niggas say any of that to Kobe. They would not, and when none of them niggas say none of that to Kobe. If Kobe was alive, they wouldn't say it to Kobe Bryant. That's just what it is. Everybody know this. We all see what it is. It's a campaign to try to tear down Kobe Bryant's legacy, which can never be done. The man's a 5-time world champion. You understand what I'm saying? League MVP, 2-time finals MVP. You just can't take away one of the best scorers in the NBA history. You can't take away his legacy. And the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan, vouched for him. You understand what I'm saying? And the dude that they call a king vouched for Kobe Bryant, said that Kobe Bryant was that dude. by far said Kobe Bryant was the best player in the league. Both years he won the MVP, Bron was up there saying that Kobe Bryant was the man. So, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, it's just like I said, it's malarkey that yapping, man. You know what I mean? Like I said before, them dudes ain't got no heart. If you ain't have heart enough to say that when Bean was alive and Bean was here, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, to do that talking now, people just saying this stuff just to fill headlines and stuff like that for the summer talk, man. Don't nobody take that serious, bro. Because like I said, them dudes couldn't hold Bean jockstrap. Bean had an everlasting effect on the game. A lot of niggas didn't have that. Bean didn't have to have all this other stuff to stay relevant and stuff like that. He was just relevant off the strength of. You understand what I'm saying? And we already know that. You feel me? So when you see dudes like tearing apart a dead man that's not really here to even defend himself, when they wasn't saying that type of talk when he was alive, you know what I'm saying? None of these players were talking like that when Kobe was alive. You know, Kobe was alive a few years after he retired. One of these dudes saying none of that. Them dudes is on their best behavior. So at the end of the day, like I said before, man, don't nobody want to hear that, man. You know what I mean? It's easy for them dudes to talk like that, like I said. But if you can't hold a nigga jockstrap, you can't say nothing. You know what I mean? It's like a low level dude talking to a king out there, man. It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Point blank period. A lot of them dudes couldn't even talk to Kobe if they was on the same team as Kobe. They wouldn't even be able to talk to Kobe. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even be able to have a conversation with him because their game wasn't up to par, something like that. You know what I'm saying? The level of competition wasn't up to par. You know what I mean? Some of these dudes could play, they had game, but they just ain't had that heart like that, man. And that's what separated Bean. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all see a lot of these dudes slandering Kobe's name and saying all this stuff they saying, man, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. You know, y'all already know what's up. They didn't say that when Kobe was alive to Kobe. You know what I'm saying? They didn't say that when Kobe was alive. They wasn't talking that shit about Kobe Bryant when he was alive. The niggas was on their best behavior. You know what I mean? So, and it is the facts. You know what I'm saying? And could no dude that didn't, if your resume don't link up to Kobe's, you couldn't even talk. Like you wouldn't even be able to have a conversation. So that's just how it went. You know what I mean? With Bean. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these dudes that's talking, man, them dudes just talking, man. Like you don't hear the real G's talking like that. You don't hear Mike talking like that. You don't hear AI talking like that. You don't hear Shaq talking like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear Tim Duncan talking like that. All the all-time greats, you don't hear them niggas talking like that about Kobe. It's niggas that could never get to that level that was talking like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear Larry Bird talking about Kobe like that. You don't hear Isaiah Thomas talking down on Kobe. None of them dudes. None of the legends that's in the game. You know what I'm saying? That was in the game. You don't hear them talking like that. You feel me? It's just a bunch of fucking haters. A bunch of dudes who didn't win shit. A bunch of losers. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that, man. You know? Kobe Bryant was all that in a bag of chips. And they know it. You know what I'm saying? They just, they hated Kobe's style, man. They didn't want Kobe to be, and when the grass is cut, the snakes is shown. Point blank period, man. You know what I'm saying? If you couldn't hold a nigga jockstrap, you know what I mean? As far as his resume, your resume, it's like you saying stuff, bro. You just throwing shit at a steel wall, brother.
I mean, the message needed to be said. You heard him. Final boss. Salute to Ticket TV. That message needed to be said, and it needed to be said that way. And I think that it needed to be said by him. So those are the three things that I think about anytime I want to say something. That's that's a little spicy. I just think of those three things. Do I need to say it? Does it need to be said that way? So it's just, I find it to be absolutely insane that people are just willing to disrespect the dead, those who are no longer here with us. I don't understand that. I wasn't raised that way, and maybe I come from a different time, but LeBron and I are, I'm not that much younger than LeBron. So I don't think I'm younger than LeBron. So I would think that he came from, a time where you had to respect your elders too. But again, this is somebody, him and Kevin Durant, they didn't have a father. So what example did they have really growing up other than being told that they're so great? So probably all the men around them just told them that they were so great and enabled all of their behaviors. But yeah, I mean, it's a chump move, I think, to talk about someone when they're no longer with us. I really want to know what you guys think. Like, why is Jeff Teague diminishing defensive teams? Is Clutch trying to spread the narrative that no one played defense before LeBron came into the league? What's the angle? While Jeff Teague is out here running his mouth about a man who isn't here to defend himself, I want to play this video for you guys that completely debunks Jeff Teague's claim that Kobe Bryant couldn't defend. It's amazing to me that Clutch Sports pushes these lies, but they lie so much. They believe the lies and they forget about the documented evidence that proves that they're lying. They have no shame and they just figure that whatever they say, people will believe, and they'll believe it because we're all stupid, right? But I want you guys to see video of Kobe Bryant guarding LeBron James for the last 5 minutes of the All-Star game after MJ's comments that he would take Kobe over LeBron, and LeBron James was sick about this. I think it was that year that he began to hate Michael Jordan. But this is the most hilarious video to me. It's almost more hilarious than his meltdown in 2011. So let's watch this together and let's have a little fun. Keep the chat lit because this gets pretty hilarious.
Greg Popovich made a great point today. He said, Duncan, and I didn't know this until I looked at the stats, Duncan is on pace for his most blocked shots ever in his career.
Stuff by Kevin Durant, landing second-year player from the Cleveland Cavaliers, on the floor for the first time for the East. Bosh for three. Chased down by Irving. Bosh on the spin. Hands to Chandler. For Team Stream app. You can download today by searching Team Stream on your phone's App Store. I mentioned a moment ago that both clubs have shot well here in the second quarter. The East 15 for 25 and the West 16 of 23 from the field. LeBron trying to get it down low.
So he took Blake Griffin out of the play right there and forced Chris Paul into the layup. Is everyone going through the legs of Chris Paul too? I mean, enough is enough. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I mean, this is getting a little ridiculous out here, Chris. I mean, they're having fun at your expense. First it was Chris Paul. All right, fool me once. That's shame on you. If you come back and someone else does it, I mean, Tony Parker's just laughing out here.
Is that in the scouting book? Chris Bosh picked up his second foul off that second through-the-leg attempt. The West with a 69-61 lead. And a reminder coming up at halftime. Entertainment featuring Grammy Award winner Alicia Keys, who happens to be a Texan, Wade with a lay-in.
They did the Russell Westbrook little signature move and pointed at Westbrook as he did it after that shot went in.
Well, Duncan attempted a three early in the game, which may not have been appreciated by celebrating his 50th birthday today. Charles Barkley, turning 50, had the surprise party last night.
That was crazy, wasn't it? Marching bands and
shazam. 125, 120. The West on top.
Greg Popovich has gone to this small lineup that he told us he would, with James Harden on the floor and Blake Griffin as his center.
Durant not able to hit from downtown. Chris Paul certainly will be in the conversation for MVP honors with 15 assists along with 11 points. LeBron James trying to force his way in. Anthony is fouled.
How about this matchup here? Last 5 minutes. Kobe Bryant guarding LeBron James. And I'm talking about full court.
West is over the foul limit. The foul was on Harden.
And they're going at one another here. They're talking a little noise to one another.
Don't forget the way last year's game ended with Kobe guarding LeBron, and LeBron didn't take that last shot. He actually tried to pass it. It was stolen. Kobe was talking all kinds of trash that night. That's what separates him from Kyrie. The skill set, Kyrie might have him with the jump shot, the range, but Paul has all those little tricks of the trade.
You think a little bit of Michael Jordan's comments. He'll take 5 over 1 and starting to play here in this fourth quarter between those two players.
Good point.
Oh, tipped home by Anthony Pointers. And he has the 15 assists, for the most part responsible for Blake Griffin's 16 points on 8 dunks. Here's Harden. Nice move on a crossover. Could not finish, but Bryant was on it. Kobe has been quiet. Bryant
Puts a move on. And scores. Poor Chris Bosh, but how many times has he been isolated tonight on these perimeter guys who are just too quick for him? 9 points, 8 assists for Flagg. The West up by 8 with just under 3 to go in the fourth. And Durant takes over.
And how about the look from Kobe Bryant on LeBron James? I guarantee you the comments by Michael Jordan are fueling this little tick for tack back from LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. Kobe's been D'ing them up for the last 3 minutes. Here's the block shot by Kobe, which leads to the fast break by Kevin Durant.
Was MVP of the game, certainly in the running here tonight. But those 15 assists, along with 16 points from Chris Paul, stand out to me. Yeah, absolutely. If the West holds on here. Anthony off the double prop. Comes Paul Malone when you can throw the ball in the block and say, get me a basket. As you see, 68 combined three-point attempts, an all-star game record. Here's Griffin putting off flags. Blake Griffin with the assist and the bucket.
And you're telling me we can't see that on Saturday night one more time? Just one more time.
Dunk contest, Blake. How about Blake versus LeBron?
That's all I would want. Yeah. Just one time. Money goes to charity.
Kobe all over James. It's rejected.
Kobe's making this personal against LeBron.
Deflected out of bounds, and it'll be East.
This is personal.
And here they go, isolated. LeBron spins his way, goes with the left hand, and is fouled by Bryant. You get the feeling this is like going to be Kobe's moment against LeBron. You know, a lot of people thought maybe they'll meet in the finals. Well, that's probably not going to happen. Yeah. So this is his moment to go head up. And with King James, and he has really done an amazing job defensively the last 7-8 minutes, just
and
going all out.
That ball was out on LeBron James.
LeBron's first point of this fourth quarter.
Kobe's loving this. Kobe is loving this. He's over here talking to Steve Kerr, and he can't score on me.
That really said.
Lightweight hilarious. Oh my God, guys. Watching that, I was in tears of laughter. In the moment, it's just like how, and this is young disciples GOAT? LeBron? This is Nick Wrong's GOAT? How can people be calling LeBron James the GOAT after watching something like that? How do you call him the GOAT after 2011? Kobe Bryant was the truth. He made All-Star competitive. That was the last time it was competitive. LeBron had to get everything changed. So, young disciple, it's not about LeBron versus Kobe. It's just showing that Jeff Teague is out here saying that he can't defend. And look at what he did to your king. Look at what he did to the 4 and 6 kingdom. Look at the reason why Michael Jordan is going to pick Kobe Bryant over LeBron James every day and twice on Sunday. That's the reason why. Okay? That's the reason why. Looked like he was playing defense to me, guys. What did you see? Looked like defense to me. Looked like Mamba mentality. It looked like he didn't give a damn about scoring a point as long as he stopped LeBron. That's competition. That's what that's called. That's called not ducking the smoke, which LeBron couldn't handle. Did you guys see how mad he was at the All-Star game? He kept passing the ball. Kobe Bryant kept blocking his shot from behind, from the front. He didn't care. It was personal. He was talking big shit, too. Totally bitched LeBron on the court. LeBron's not that guy. Sorry. He's not the GOAT. It looked like literally Kobe was torturing LeBron and embarrassing him. He's not the GOAT. This is your king. To all the jockstrap sniffers, this is your king. He never wanted to compete at the All-Star game, but this is your king. He never wanted to compete in All-Star. He's been embarrassed too many times and exposed. He's been on the run. He's been on the run from that moment right there. LeBron James has always ducked the smoke. Always. He's always ducked the smoke. You saw him passing the ball because he couldn't bum rush the lane. You saw Kobe absolutely, completely fuck up his life, talking shit to him. LeBron James looked like such a little bitch on the court. Never said anything. Just let Kobe punk him and undress him like a $2 hooker at a Diddy party. That's what he let him do. That's what happened. That's what I saw. That's what I saw, guys. I'm curious, like, do you guys have a better understanding as to why Jeff Teague is diminishing Kobe Bryant's defensive efforts when he was locking up LeBron, like I said, like a $2 hooker at a Diddy party?
Be mad, I can have a spat, we can have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really that's all it is. You got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. You got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. Girl, me and you can be mad, I can have a spat, we can have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really that's all it is.
That's all it is, LeBron. Get on your job. Kobe Bryant had him in a torture chamber. That's really what it is. Man, LeBron James. The clutch narratives, they never end. And, we're headed into year 24 for LeBron. And, his Lakers stint is about to come to an end. He's at the end of his career. His career is about to sunset. And LeBron is deciding to go out very sad. Okay? Him and the Lakers, this relationship has beyond soured. Okay? This is about to be a nasty breakup. This is about to be just one of the worst breakups that we've ever seen. Honestly, I could see, I remember when Shaq left the Lakers, it wasn't the best story. It wasn't a horrible, horrible breakup. And I mean, I don't think that there were nice reports about him at that time, but later on, he wound up getting the statue and being revered by the team. So perhaps that's what's going to happen to LeBron as well. Like, they're going to have this nasty breakup right now, and then later on they're going to mend fences and patch it up. I don't know, but what I can tell you is that there's a lot of awful reports about how LeBron James is feeling, about how he's feeling betrayed by the Lakers, and the fact that they have not allowed for him to do whatever he wants, and just basically gouge the team of all their resources. The Lakers have now shifted basically all of their attention to Luka Doncic, a 25-year-old star, not the 40-year-old aging star. They don't want to do it anymore. They don't want to continue with the clutch takeover. And I mean, can you blame them? I wouldn't blame them for feeling that way. I don't think anybody would. But fadeaway.net, they had, a pretty good article that, sort of, it goes over some of the signs that says that, hey, LeBron James is going to be leaving the Lakers, and here's some signs that this is happening. So we're going to talk about that and see, what do you guys really think? Are the Lakers and LeBron James headed for a nasty divorce? I think so. But, let's take a look at this article together and let's see, what you guys think about this. But, there's 7 signs that show LeBron James and the Lakers are headed for a breakup. It seems not so quiet, but also inevitable. So what once looked like the perfect marriage between basketball's most iconic star and its most glamorous franchise now feels like a slow, inevitable breakup. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers were supposed to chase rings and legacy together. Oh, you guys can't even see the article. Whoops. So sorry about that. Let me fix that. Yep. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. So like I said, these are the 7 signs article from fadeawayworld.net. So what once looked like the perfect marriage between basketball's most iconic star and its most glamorous franchise now feels like a slow, inevitable breakup. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers were supposed to chase rings and legacy together, but over the past 18 months, the signs have grown louder, colder, and unmistakably clear. The tension didn't erupt overnight, it simmered quietly through front office missteps, cryptic social media posts, and a major franchise shift that caught even James off guard. Let's walk through the 7 clearest signs that the LeBron Lakers era is reaching its end. The Lakers, this is the first one, the Lakers refused to go all in during the 2023-24 season. The seeds of discontent were planted during last season, 2023-24. The Lakers were stuck in play-in territory, struggling with an inconsistent and aging roster that clearly needed a jolt. Multiple reports linked the team to impact players. Names like DeJounte Murray, Malcolm Brogdon, and even Zach LaVine came up. But the front office refused to part with their 2 valuable first-round draft picks. Instead of making a meaningful midseason upgrade, they signed Spencer Dinwiddie off the buyout market, a Band-Aid for a bullet wound. The Lakers were promptly eliminated by the Denver Nuggets in 5 games again. The failure to commit to winning now despite having LeBron James and Anthony Davis was the first red flag. And while Darvin Ham paid the price with his job, the deeper problem was already exposed. LeBron's window wasn't being prioritized anymore. Number 2, the Anthony Davis-Luka Doncic trade happened without LeBron James' input. The shocker came on February 1st, 2025. The Lakers traded AD to the Dallas Mavericks for Luka Doncic in one of the most seismic deals in NBA history. I hate this word. Everything is a seismic deal. The move electrified the basketball world. Doncic, just 25, is a generational talent with global appeal. But what stood out wasn't just the trade itself. It was that LeBron James, the face of the franchise, wasn't informed ahead of time. According to insiders, James only learned of the deal after it was essentially done. He respected Doncic and understood the rationale. But for a player who's always been involved in team building decisions, being left in the dark signaled a shift. The franchise was moving on silently. Number 3, the Lakers address Luka Doncic's needs, not LeBron James' long-standing requests. LeBron and AD spent years lobbying for a traditional big to anchor the middle. From DeMarcus Cousins to Andre Drummond to Mo Bamba, nothing ever stuck. Then Luka arrived, and immediately the Lakers acquired a center in Mark Williams. Though the deal fell apart due to a failed medical, the message was clear. They were building around Doncic now and fast. LeBron took notice, as did the rest of the league. Number 4, LeBron's cryptic no comment and the AD interview fallout. After the Lakers lost in 2025 playoffs to the Minnesota Timberwolves, LeBron was asked if the post-Davis roster had become too physical for him to handle. And this was his response: no comment. I never say that because my guy AD said what he needed and he was gone the following week. It was a veiled shot targeting how Anthony Davis had told ESPN that the Lakers needed a true center, only to be traded days later. LeBron saw the writing on the wall. Voicing needs in this franchise now led to exits. Whether frustration or warning, that quote said more than most press conferences ever do. You know, I thought that comment was so disgusting only because LeBron James has a no trade clause. So how the hell was that going to happen to him? He has the power. That's why the Lakers haven't been able to get out from under him this whole time. Number 5, LeBron James was excluded from the ownership news while Luka Doncic was informed early. On June 18th, 2025, Jeannie Buss agreed to sell a majority stake in the Lakers to billionaire Mark Walter. It was a stunning move that ended the Buss family's decades-long control of the franchise. Luka Doncic, now the centerpiece of the franchise, was informed early and even posted a celebratory message on social media. LeBron, he found out through his representatives. The silence from LeBron was deafening. No post, no statement, no acknowledgement. A player once consulted on every major move was now out of the loop. Number 6, the extension snub, and the Cleveland clues. When LeBron picked up his player option for 2025-26 season, the Lakers didn't issue an official press release acknowledging it, an unusual omission for a player of his stature. Instead, what followed was a series of cryptic social media posts. Then he reposted a photo of Lakers broadcaster Allie Clifton wearing a Cavaliers jersey, captioning it, "Proper attire." Days earlier, he posted a video of himself golfing in Cleveland, wearing a welcome home hat. Officially, the hat supported his friend Paul Revera's new media company, Homecoming. But insiders knew better. Of course, I mean, you're just out here trying to look like Michael Jordan. I bet you LeBron James has probably the ugliest golf swing we've ever seen. Nothing LeBron James does is a coincidence, one source told ESPN. The undertone was obvious. He's thinking about Cleveland again. Yeah, right. LeBron James is a Kardashian. He's not going to Cleveland. If he does, he's still going to be in and out of LA. What he's going to do is just take half the season off and be in LA because he is a Kardashian. We need to be watching him. It's all about the cameras. It's all about being the it guy. Number 7, ESPN and Shams Charania reports hints at the inevitable. Then comes the bombshell. An ESPN insider piece from Ramona Shelburne and Brian Windhorst detailed how LeBron James felt disrespected by the Lakers. Their silent pivot to Luka Doncic. Shams Charania echoed it, stating that a potential breakup could happen within 2 months. More than just speculation, the leaks were purposeful. James has long used media signals to communicate his frustration, whether it was taking my talents to South Beach or cryptic Instagram lyrics during his second Cleveland exit. This is a familiar pattern. The reports are the smoke. The fire is on the way. And so where is all of this headed? The relationship between LeBron James and the Lakers has deteriorated into a passive-aggressive standoff. Multiple league insiders, including Jovan Buha, have confirmed the cracks in the foundation. LeBron reportedly no longer has the same influence in roster decisions where his voice once shaped the roster. Now it echoes into silence. The Lakers are reportedly not opposed to exploring trade scenarios for James. While LeBron's full no-trade clause and advancing age complicates matters, at least 4 teams have already inquired quietly about his availability. The Lakers' internal view of LeBron has shifted from cornerstone to expiring contract, a potential chip. That tension is beginning to affect other parts of the franchise, most notably Bronny James. The 20-year-old had a promising rookie season, and while the Lakers are pleased with his development, his future is now tied to his father's fate. If LeBron stays, Bronny's path may be fast-tracked. If he leaves, the team may either build around Bronny or use him in another deal. I'm dead. Build around Bronny? What kind of nonsense is that? A promising rookie season? He's still wearing a goddamn NBA costume. When is he going to take it off and go back to playing video games? Bronny himself has received no clarity, a reflection of how unstable the situation truly is. Like, he deserves it. He deserves to be cut from the league expeditiously. The Lakers' eyes are clearly set on 2027 in the future, not on squeezing out one last run with a 40-year-old superstar. The Lakers' posture has shifted intentionally and unflinchingly. They are moving into the Luka era, young, global, fresh. It makes sense from a business standpoint. Doncic gives them another decade of title contention, youth, appeal, and jersey sales. But in making that move, they've effectively phased out LeBron James without formally ending the relationship. LeBron, always a master of timing and perception, isn't exploding with emotion. He's watching, calculating, sending quiet warnings. He picked up his player option not to commit to LA, but to control his next move. Whether that's a mid-season trade or a free agency departure next summer, James has made one thing clear: he won't be a silent passenger while his era fades away. The signs are there: the tweets, the interviews, the trades, the silence, and the symbolism. The story doesn't need a dramatic ending because it's already begun to unravel, one overlooked extension, one unreturned favor, one strategic snub at a time. And if history tells us anything about LeBron James, it's that when the signs point to the exit, he never misses the door. Absolutely hilarious. You know, we can't really make these things up about LeBron James. These are the stories that are being reported by Ramona Shelburne, who's very close to the Lakers. Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington, of course, they had some things to say about this. I want you guys to hear it. So I'll play it for you guys now. Oh wait, that's not it.
We worthy. I mean, you know
what they had in what they had in.
Oh, wait, that wasn't it either. Was it this one?
G, we're going to start with the Lakers, and there was some reporting done about LeBron not happy, panties in a bunch, with the way things are going on down at crypto.com arena. Rob G, can you fill us in?
Yeah, this seems to be boiling over in a big way here in La La Land. We remember about a week ago, we had Brian Windhorst say on ESPN radio that, the idea of LeBron not retiring with the Lakers is now more on the table than ever. He didn't say outright it was going to happen, but he said, just don't slam the door on it anymore. A couple of days ago, Jovan Buha, friend of the show, longtime Lakers insider, said that the relationship between the two sides is kind of salty at the moment, a little frosty. Two sides are not exactly simpatico at the moment. Well, today, ESPN.com's Ramona Shelburne and Brian Windhorst, again, put out a lengthy piece discussing what's going on with LeBron James and the Lakers brass. And in summary, what they have determined is that LeBron is not happy that the team has really pivoted in a strong way towards Luka Doncic and his timeline and put LeBron's timeline on the back burner. In fact, according to Shelburne and Windhorst, one of the things that LeBron is really upset about is that the Lakers did not offer him a contract extension prior to him opting into that $52 million for next season.
So it wasn't right. He didn't have a choice to say, I'm not going to do that. Let me decide what I'm going to do. No, they said, no, you're good. You got a thing? Are you coming in? Okay, that's it.
In fact, according to Shelburne and Windhorst, here's how they frame it in the story. If LeBron wanted the kind of Hollywood ending that only the Lakers can give legends of the game, the release date has been set. Spring 2026.
And Kelvin, I'm just going to say this. The Lakers are spot on. They are spot on. This is not, you can't live in the past when it comes to sports. You fall in love with people or the Lakers did it with Kobe. Mistake. You can say whatever the last 5, 6 years with Kobe, a mistake.
All bad.
Too much money. Nobody wanted to play with it. You remember what it was? They couldn't make the playoff. It was not good because they wanted to take care of Kobe and be loyal and all that kind of stuff. And you got to be careful with that. In this case, the Lakers have done everything. LeBron's going to be 41. Like, seriously. You got a 25-year-old star that you traded for, right? That's who you have to center around the team. The team was just sold. You're the Dodgers. You living in the past? I mean, the Lakers?
You're half right.
Right? Half right, because the Dodgers have moved across the street. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see this as being disrespectful or not. When he was there, they paid him. They gave him the extension before. They've done everything. He wanted more players. He went and they got him AD. Traded all the young players, right, to go get AD for him. That worked out. They won a championship. They get Luka for him. Okay, wow. You know what I mean? But you can't string this along. An extension? No. Could be 41. This is the right move by the Lakers.
This is going to be the first time LeBron is going to have to deal with something different. And that is the first time not being courted, the first time not being wanted, the first time that he is in a position where he's second fiddle. And since he was probably, 13 years old, he's probably been that guy. Now, his disposition, especially early on, was to be more of a collaborative guy, bring the team on, high fives with everybody. But he always knew subconsciously it all revolved around him. And this is the first time, Rob, it happens. And people do that in life. When it ain't all about you, if you're an only child, and all of a sudden you got a sibling, what you mean? I don't get this. What do you mean? I got to share. I got to do this. And I think that's what he's going through. You mentioned a couple of good things. New ownership. I'm going to start there. New ownership, mind you, Rob, not a new ownership that's new to this. New ownership that knows what they're doing. New ownership that has continually had the Dodgers being successful, whether they're competing for, obviously, winning their division and competing for World Series, winning.
LeBron James isn't happy. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? He's at the end. You'd think that he'd be happy for the Lakers to get a star player like Luka and he can finally pass the torch to someone. That's what he's been saying that he wanted. That was a lie. So LeBron James lied to us. Clutch Sports lied. What else is new, right? What else is new? But the fact that he doesn't want to sort of phase himself out it's just ridiculous. And it's funny because Paul Pierce and the Speak crew, they address this. And, I like the way that Paul Pierce talked about it. It was hilarious, actually. And I want to play this sound for you guys because it was really, really, really funny. And basically I talk about LeBron James's hairline all the time. Like, and for any man, really, when your hairline is like gone, just go bald. Be confident in yourself enough to just get rid of it all. And so here's what Paul Pierce had to say, because it's really, really funny. Let's take a listen together and we'll get ready to wrap up the show soon.
We worthy. I mean,
what they had in common, they were all in shape and they all played defense.
Well, he's
And
lost.
those are the two knocks that they said on him.
Yeah, but that's just him. We build around our stars, though, Paul.
Uh-huh.
We just do. I mean, that's the reality of it.
Yep, they do.
We tend to build around our stars. The interesting thing out of all this, though, is the fact that it is transitioning to Luka's team. But as long as LeBron James is on the team, I don't believe it'll be fully Luka's team, because LeBron is entering his 22nd season, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
He don't know nothing else but for it to be his team. So it's very hard, and you know this, Paul, it's hard to take a step back despite, because he's going to be on the floor. It ain't like all of a sudden he's relegated to the bench. He's going to be on the floor as the guy. So it's going to be hard for him to just give way right now to Luka, in my opinion.
You know what it is? He's entering that realm. You know that like us as black men, like some of when we start losing our hair that don't want to let it go.
Yeah,
This is not talking.
I ain't got that problem.
And then and when you know it's time for change,
I never know where he's gonna go.
No, listen. You know, you got that guy. You got that hole right here, but you don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you're like, man, keep looking in the mirror. Man, I gotta let this go. Then they come and shave that thing off.
Well, Paul really ready to go vacate.
No, listen. But then that's the stage. It's hard for him to let it go, is what I'm saying for LeBron.
No, that's true.
Not his hair, like him being the guy. Well, that too. His hair too. He got to let that go too. But being the guy.
But there's a way to fix it, P.
No. We ain't gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna send him overseas and get the plugs and do all that. We're not doing that. And I understand what Paul is saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the same thing I just said.
It's hard for him to relinquish it.
20-something years in the league as being King James, I'm not just all of a sudden pass the torch.
But he does. He possesses all the things you need DNA-wise to lead your team to a championship. And he's still young. So I feel like he's in that realm where he's like, okay, what other ways can I adjust my game where we can?
It's just like, you got to grab the Clippers and just go all the way with it, LeBron. Just go all the way with it, okay? It's not that hard. Just grab the Clippers. It's going to be fine. Just grab those Clippers and just go all the way back. When you really love something, I think it's hard to leave, right? Like if you really love a job, it's really hard to retire. If you really love a relationship, it could be hard, right? To leave, that particular partner or, marriage. But I just think that LeBron James, it's time to hang it up. It's time. It's time. Like you never want to take a back seat. You never want to be in your role. Stay in your role. LeBron just wanted to be in control of his swan song. That's what this is all about. And it's not happening, so he's salty about it. And it's showing. He's extremely jealous of Luka Doncic, like an only child that gets a sibling. And, it's disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. And it's just like, be in your number 2 role and deal with it. Stop planting stories about Luka. Be in your number 2 role and just deal with it. Do your job, LeBron. It's simple. The Lakers want to move on from you because you're not playing the role that they were hoping that you would play. You don't want to play the role that they need you in. You don't want to adjust. What happened to adjustments? Just retire, LeBron. Diddy's going to get out of jail and, hopefully maybe he'll get some time and you'll be right back at the Diddy parties.
Got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never going to work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. Be mad, I can have a spat, we can have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really, that's all it is.
That's all it is. Get on your job, LeBron. But guys, let's talk about where we're at with likes. So we had a lot of people watching today, and I really appreciate that. I want to salute everybody that joined the stream today. Really, really, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. But I need you to do me a favor. I need you to like the video. I need you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And most importantly, I need you to share the video. Share it out on social media. Share it with your friends and family. Share it with anybody you think likes sports and wants to be a part of a great sports community. Guys, I really want us to watch our language in the chat. I know that I got super passionate today, and that doesn't really happen normally. I saw like a block come through. I don't know if that was the All-Star game video that I tried to share with you guys, or if it was literally just my language. I don't know, but if we can be respectful in the chat, this is a really safe place. I want people to come into the community and feel like they're being respected, like their opinion is being heard. And we don't always have to agree, but we don't have to call each other names. We don't have to speak poorly to one another. We can say how we feel. We can make jokes and have a good time, but I really don't want to see any disrespect in the chat. Okay. And I'm not always watching the chat. So I want to shout out my moderators that do a really, really great job of holding me down, but let's be respectful and let's create a really, great place to be. Sports is supposed to bring people together. Okay. I really believe that. I think sports tea can bring people together, and we just have to, come in ready to have a good time. That's really what it's all about. Okay. So, I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having some fun with me today. And, I know it got a little spicy, but thanks for being you guys. And thank you for being here, watching and supporting. So don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. Let's blow up the Sports Tea Network to be huge. And before I head out, what I want to do is just read these super chats that came through, because I'm so grateful for all of the support that you guys give and your donations. I really, really appreciate you guys. So I want to first read, let's see. It is from Mark. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Please accept these Canadian dollars as part of the debt that we owe for Steve Nash's role in this shameful clown show. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Steve Nash, he should be ashamed of himself for this. Steven Jackson, no comment, but thank you for the $4.99. I really appreciate that. It's not that serious. Another $5. Don't kill me, Lady T, but LBJ and KD are taking the lead in toxic femininity. The orange purse doesn't help their cause. Jay Anderson, thank you and salute to you for the $5. KD and Bron never had a father to celebrate them like MJ. Bron is promoted to be a great father. Him laughing and not correcting KD is hella clownish. I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, they don't know what it is to be supported by two parents in the household. They have no idea what it is to have, a real, male example in the household. So it's tough to respect yourself, even at their big old age. It's hard for them to respect other people because they don't respect themselves. Tim Jones, thank you for this comment. I highlighted this because Wilt and Bill were interviewed by Ahmad Bashad, and they were hating on the 90s era of hoops and on Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had a ton of criticism, but LeBron James fans and, sports media, they want to forget about that, and they just probably didn't see it. Just say you didn't watch. Say you don't know. Stop saying something didn't happen if you don't know and you weren't there. Eden Jr., salute to you for being a member for 6 months. At this point, LeBron looks like the coyote. After all those tricks, smokes, and mirrors, he still sounds bitter and miserable. Absolutely. He's the most miserable billionaire that we've seen. Salute to you, Spurzan, and thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Dom, I'm glad you're back. They censored you. I didn't even know, guys, so it must have been the All-Star game. I just got messages from you guys saying that they cut me off. I'm so sorry about that. But watching that All-Star clip was funny. For those of you, if you did get to see it, it was hilarious. But thank you, Spurzan, for the super chat. And we have another one. Wow, $50 from L. Donald. Salute to you. Undressed like a $2 hooker was wild. You earned this because YouTube ain't monetizing after that flame session. Maybe Clutch Sports is just out to get me. They don't want us to expose the fact that Kobe Bryant was locking up LeBron James in the All-Star game. of all places. The same place that LeBron James doesn't want to compete at and wants to make sure there's no defense. Cooley High 68 Unknown. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Really appreciate you. And you came through the second one. Salute to you, Cooley High 68 Unknown. Thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys. It's been a pleasure to come in here and cook Clutch Sports and, the Clutch clan. I really appreciate you guys. And I just hope that you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We'll be back and we'll be talking about, the goings on in the off season. And I am going to be doing an anticipated show for the members on the WNBA. So I'm really excited for that. And I hope to see you guys soon. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all. Bye-bye.